Alright, boys, we're at it again. I'll probably mess around with cross uploading on this video because I got a new YouTube channel. I've been considering doing that for a while, like I said. So I might upload this on both YouTube and BitChute, prioritizing BitChute. But anyways, so I want to talk about my friend's story. My friend revealed something funny to me, which is that his dad started talking to him, and it's funny because I know this person for years and years now, and they have a deadbeat dad. It's kind of like the classic story of like the deadbeat dad, quote unquote. And I've learned, since becoming red-pilled or whatever you want to call it, like I've learned that to sympathize with the man side of the story, because oftentimes like these women are talking shit, they're talking bullshit, and they're like tricking people into feeling sorry for them and stuff, like women have mastered the art of doing that. So oftentimes I sympathize with the deadbeat dad, because it's like, why, men don't have as much to gain from having a child compared to women, So anyways, the way the story went was like his dad contacted him. It was like, yeah, your mom was crazy, and like tried to tell me that I raped her and all this stuff. And supposedly this rape accusation was like 10 years before my friend was even born. So it's like, why are these women always in the company, like the Me Too women? They're always in the company of these men who are apparently raping them. Like, it's not Stockholm Syndrome. Clearly the woman has to take responsibility and agency for herself at some point. No man would ever be in such a situation where like the person who's victimizing him is also this person that he's like stuck to for whatever reason. We don't look at men like that, and that goes down into something that I'm going to touch on a lot in this latest batch of videos, or maybe just one big video, is female hypoagency, like the utter refusal of the female to simply acknowledge her role in her own predicament. So yeah, I just thought that was funny. But the whole absentee daddy story, it always seems to be the same thing to me. Like, it's always like, yeah, my daddy left, and he's an asshole. And it's largely that the child feels that way because the mom has convinced them to feel that way. And I've had so many friends like this. At best, where it's like at best they have I just saw a raccoon in broad daylight. That's crazy. I'm at that raccoon place that I talk about sometime. But anyways, yeah, it's like, damn, lost my train of thought. I was like, yeah, I have a lot of friends who have either a messed up relationship with their dad, or like he's an absentee dad, and it's just messed up. And like the dad is always the bad guy, largely because the mom convinced the child that he's a bad person. But it's really like, no, it's just like this Chad got tired of your shit, and sometimes he's not even a Chad. It's like, he just got tired of your shit, and he's not trying to raise a child with you, because first of all, you benefit more from that. That's why oftentimes like I compare the vagina to like a Venus flytrap, because that's all it is. That's all it's about for women. It's like, that's why they love children so much. I'm breathing heavily because I just walked up a hill, but that's why they love children so much, because children benefit them. Children are like of monetary value to a woman, like a slave, and they just use it to extort from people, the government, men, etc. So, but anyways, the daddy story is always the same, and it's like, that's why you always have to hear both sides of the story, because the dad is very often you know, sometimes the dad is a fucking asshole, yeah. But I find that very often the dad is not an asshole at all. He has a completely sympathetic story. And it's just a man who, like, instead of being a default cuck and, like, raising a daughter and having no access to or authority over his kids, it's like he has every reason to not want to be a parent. You know, the kinds of men who wants to be parents are, like, brainwashed. They're, like, they have, like, this cuck mentality, or, like, they have this ego, this huge ego where they want to have a legacy and all that stuff. Those are the kinds of guys who want to be parents, you know. No logical masculine man wants to be a parent. I'm sorry. It's just something that you either kind of accept in exchange for the female's company or whatever. It's like, it's a compromise, you know, in my opinion. But anyways, I spent enough time on this. Oh, actually, no. This was meant to be a pretty big topic, anyways. But yeah, my girlfriend, who's not my ex at this point, she was saying, she made a fairly fair point, which is like, you know, your dad wasn't there, and now he's coming out of nowhere. You have to kind of, in so many words, she basically said, like, you have to kind of look at it objectively, like, who was actually there for you in life and stuff. And that was your mom, and now your dad's, like, kind of coming around, trying to reconcile way after the fact. But it's like, if he really wanted to be in your life, then he would have been in your life. Like, there's dudes kidnapping their kids all the time, you know, because they want to be in their kid's life. And it's like, I can kind of see that point, but at the same time, to me, the thing that refutes that point is exactly what I was talking about how being a parent is just not good for men. It's just not a good thing. We have more to lose than we have to gain from that. So it's like, yeah, why would you want to be one? We have so much to lose, everything to lose, nothing to gain, really. But it's a somewhat fair point, I guess. Anyways, a lot of these dudes, like, who have daddy issues and stuff, and this applies to women to a significant extent, I think. I'm trying to avoid the road, because it's so noisy. It's gonna mess with the damn video. But anyways, I guess I could sit down here, but I don't especially want to. But, like, a lot of these dudes who have, like, daddy issues and stuff, like, they end up becoming, like, the homo thug, or like gay, or like thuggish, or like, they have those kinds of, like, issues that I talk about a lot. And one person in particular that seems like this that I was talking to was like, yeah, like, every guy, I have homoerotic fantasies and, like, all these mental issues, like paranoid schizophrenia and things of that nature. And it does seem to be true, because I've known so many people, like, I can't exaggerate how many people I've known just have, like, diagnosed mental issues and stuff. But anyways, it's like, yeah, like, there's, like, homoerotic fantasy is clearly a part of it, for a lot of people. And this guy was telling me that it's because of, like, not having a dad, or having, like, a weak dad, or, like, something like that. And any guy that's in your life kind of becomes sort of a love interest, because it's like they're filling this void of masculinity, the dearth of masculinity in their life. So that is something I've noticed with a lot of these guys, and with females too. But with females, they often go in the opposite direction, so they become, like, lesbians, you know, because of it, or, like, their resentment for men or whatever. But I mean, just imagine, like, as selfish as women are by nature, just imagine what they would do in a man's position if they had as little to gain from having a child as the average man does. And I mentioned, like, thug culture, like, I talk about homo thugs a lot and things like that. Was, like, part of the reason that has such an appeal to guys who have a dearth of masculinity, or, like, no father or whatever in their lives, is because it goes into hypo-agency, which I was kind of talking about a little bit. But it's like hyper-agency. Thug culture is like hyper-agency. It's hyperactive. It's it's external manipulation. It's very outward oriented energy, whatever you want to call it. Thug culture is very much like that. So that's why like a lot of lesbian feminists and stuff, they try to emulate what they perceive to be masculinity, and like a lot of gay men, a lot of homo thug type men, because it's like the opposite of what their world has been thus far, I guess you could say. And it's like it's hyper agency. It's like, yeah, I'm taking charge of my life, I'm the boss, that kind of mentality taken to like a sort of an extreme. But with lesbianism, it's kind of, and like bisexual people, like you often see that it's indicative of indecisiveness too, because they can't even choose like which sex they are attracted to. Really, it's like they bounce wildly back and forth between the two. It's like that what I was talking about in a previous video with the splitting of realities and like disassociative personalities, and not knowing which person you are, not knowing who you are, that kind of mentality as well. With that said, like a lot of lesbians, they just haven't met the right guy. They just haven't met the right guy. I was reading this thing where they were talking about like this lesbian was like questioning her lesbianism because of she met Bill Clinton and was like attracted to him or like drawn to him or whatever. And obviously with lesbianism, there's more shakiness there. I feel like with a man is more able to be committed to his gayness than a woman, you know. But I'm not sure how true that actually is. I just feel instinctively like that is true. A lot of these lesbians, they just haven't met the right guy. They're surrounded by beta males and like other females, effeminate males, and like they have like the dearth of masculinity. So, and for whatever reason, you can probably surmise the reasons on your own, but it's like they have this dearth of masculinity in their lives, and so they actually resent it. So they turn inward. So they turn inward to what they know, which is femininity, and they like go with women, and they're quote unquote attracted to women. But as soon as they meet that one man that seems to fill this hole that they didn't even know existed, they're attracted to that man. And I feel like I experienced something like this in real life, because I dated someone who fancied themselves to be like a lesbian and actually did do stuff with girls and all that. But it's like I could just tell instinctively that it was just a matter of meeting the right guy. It was just a matter of, and this person was clearly brought up in an environment where there was no real masculinity, because there's like gay uncles, like sort of weak, submissive men for the most part. And all the men that weren't like that were like distant figures in her life who like had this bad reputation, and they're so horrible, when that's really just not the case. But anyways, I'll give this topic a break for now. I'm near the road, so I'll probably just make this a video all on its own. I think I'm definitely going to do that, because this definitely felt like at least 20 minutes. 15 minutes, it's not bad. But anyways, I'm going to make this a video all on its own. I'm going to experiment with cross-uploading, like I said. And I'm going to go into some other shit. This will probably be like a blitz of videos. I should probably be cutting my videos more short just to make them more friendly, but like I don't really care about that. Anyways, I'm going to move on to something else in the next video.